The weekly team meeting is really responsible for the growth and success of our practice. And how to run it by the numbers is what this video is all about. My first tip for you in running your team meeting by the numbers is you actually have to have a team meeting on how we are going to run our team meeting. You see, early on in my associate days, I would show up to team meeting and I would just kind of sit down, and it was after lunch, and often I was pretty tired and my food was digesting, and admittedly my eyes would start to shut and I'd start to doze off. And the big reason why is because I wasn't really involved in the content for the team meeting. So by bringing the team member and training them on the next tips I'm going to share with you will change everything, and preparing those team members to be proactively involved. So my second tip in the team meeting is to have every team member assigned to their KPI. Now what that means is that a system in the practice has one or two KPIs. And not every team member, depending on the size of your team, has one KPI to share. But they probably have a lead metric to the KPI, meaning a statistical point that they're doing that's measuring the success of their day that contributes to the KPI, the key performance indicator success of their system. If I'm at the front desk and I'm measuring percent of phone calls answered, that is a lead metric to number of new patients scheduled or even future production scheduled. So these are metrics that we could actually report on that contribute to the KPIs that we're looking at in the team meeting. Now, the team member coming to report those, we want to establish a very clear benchmark. What's the range of healthy? And that way the team member is coming to report that. And as they do, the third tip is teaching them to think strategically about that. Now, if it's in that healthy range, we also want them to talk with the team why it's in that healthy range. What are they doing on a regular basis? What are they thinking through on a regular interaction with a patient or the process that they're engaged in that's delivering that healthy range? And how do we make sure that we keep it up? We don't stop that. If it's not in that healthy range, we really want them coming to the team with either a strategical plan of here's what I'm going to do to improve it, or they're coming with really solid questions. Those questions are presented to the team, and now we have a group discussion. I found my team so much more engaged, so much more impactful when I sat back as the practice owner in the team meeting. Instead of showing up being the voice, I actually showed up to listen, to support the team in this brand new process that we were creating of a team-driven practice. When they knew their KPIs or their lead metrics, when they knew their healthy ranges, when they came prepared with growth strategy, I would actually provide for them resources to go get training. In my early days of practice, I had to have coaches, I had to have consultants that I would train from. I would have resources to point them to that they would then go through the training to master that skill. And then of course, as we built BlueIQ and developed these systems and these growth challenges, we have more training resources out there like this that you can engage with your team to help you train them to become experts. The next tip is to make sure you're celebrating those team members, especially if they're in those ranges of healthy. But don't forget to celebrate the team member that actually comes underperforming with a really good thought out strategy plan or really good questions for the group as they're thinking through the strategy. In fact, if one of your other team members offers an answer to one of those questions that is really good, that is the time to acknowledge and celebrate them. It's really fun just to bring some rewards to team meeting that you can kind of throw out to the team as they're engaging. I know this is a little bit like Pavlov's theory and we're ringing the bell to get, salivating dogs, but the reality is it works. We reward good behavior. We are training our team to behave strategically, growth-minded, problem-solving. And it is a game changer to this team meeting. Now, my last tip is a really key one because what happens is you get into this pattern that sometimes we forget where we're going. In order for a team to think strategically, to recognize how important their KPIs and metrics are, we have to have a vision laid out for the team. Now, a vision is defined as not who I am to my community. It's who my practice is, who we're becoming within a team. It's what we talk about within the team, our expectations for ourselves. And so as we talk about the patient transformation we're creating, we're talking about the volume of patients that we're setting our sights on as the next level of benchmark of success. By this date, we are drawing the line in the sand that this is who we're becoming by that date. Those are the key elements of a solid team meeting. And when you run it that way, you will be blown away at the transformation of your team, how they show up very differently, how they show up ready to engage, they show up ready to contribute, because that's really why you hired them. And these team-driven practices and why we built dashboards for you, that these team members can clearly see their contribution to the patient experience is transformational. It's why we built them for you and your team, so that you can go out and heal the world. Now, if you like this type of content, I would really encourage you to go through our growth challenge. Our growth challenge is 30 days, just a quick training video each day with a quick worksheet for different team members within your practice. And so I'll train them for you through this experience. So just click the button below to sign up for our next growth challenge.